Emma Van Allen. So brought around by the Shamrocks, as Pete mentioned, coached by Michael Vitelli in his 5th year at the helm at Bishop Feehan.
And you were telling me before the game, Ryan, his daughter is on the team.
She is, yeah. Brianna Vitelli, not a starter for her dad, but a junior who could see some minutes here. His son also a senior starter for the boys team.
Must be a lot of lacrosse discussions at the dinner table.
Shot put on goal there by Herrick Kendall. Kendall Herrick, we should say. That one goes wide left. Your goalie on the day as she makes that save right there. Ella Mahoney, sophomore in net, who's been pretty terrific when asked so far of her this season.
Yeah, she's looked good in goal for Coach Kristen Garino.
Bishop Feehan inside to a cutting teammate. Put another shot on goal. Good defense there, though, by number 4, Julia Flynn. On the shot on that one was number 8, Sydney Smith. The visitors controlling time of possession so far. We played 2 25-minute halves here in girls lacrosse. Just over 3 minutes into this one. Smith. Guarded by Peyton Crandall. She'll dish this one off to Kendall Herrick. Herrick brings it on the right side. Behind the net it goes to Feehan, being patient with the ball, but a lapse in passing right there. Ground ball controlled by the visitors, and they stepped out. And ball awarded back to Franklin.
The style of play resembles the Franklin style of play. A lot of cutting in front of the net. They take the ball on the invert behind the net, looking for cutters. And you wonder if they got a little bit of that from Coach Kristen Garino in the club level.
Yeah, you got to remember, as you mentioned, a good point. For half of the year, as that one turned over back into the hands of Herrick. Another loose pass there. But Coach Garino is their usual coach for the club season.
Right.
We'll see about the similarities. Here comes Franklin on the fast break, controlled by Caitlin Carney. Back to her senior classmate, Lindsay Atkinson. Atkinson, your leading goal scorer on this Franklin team so far. Peterson moves it around, and just as you said, that similar style of offense,
it really
cutting,
looks
passing.
the same.
There's that cut right there from Tanner. Back out to Peterson, who will restart this attack.
Oftentimes, Peterson will take it right to the goal herself, but this time she's in the passing pattern.
Can't convert there to Tanner, but crisis averted as she picks this up. Here is Atkinson, the Merrimack College, we should say, commit, one of 6 commits on this senior class. Here's Atkinson. Inside she goes, gets up on the net. Taken back by Peterson. Peterson, left-handed shot, not yet. We'll have a penalty called on the Shamrocks, so it'll be Peterson from the starting position.
Yeah, she'll get a free position shot right in front. See how she chooses to play it. Now they're going to move her to the side wing.
The first real test for Cronin between the pipes.
Cronin had the most of the net blocked. There was a little avenue in the lower left quadrant, and that's where Peterson took it home. So they score based on that free position shot. Katie Peterson, the UMass commit, on the board for the Panthers. They lead it 1-0.
Yeah, just 5.5 minutes in, so it took Franklin a second to get going. We'll see if that can spark something on their offensive attack. Not coming off the starting position. 19:29 left to go in the opening half. Peterson, after scoring that goal, back into the middle circle where she's been so dangerous controlling draws this year.
Yeah, she's been good at that. Franklin has a tradition of players really good on the opening draws and draws throughout the game, both on the girls' side and the boys' side.
And Franklin this year also has a couple of players who can do it. We've seen Jamie Tanner have success controlling draws as well as Caitlin Carney.
And it's good to see Jamie Tanner back. She was hurt last year, and good to get her in the mix.
That one won again by Franklin, picked up by Peterson. More on injuries coming in a second because, Pete, as Tanner's back, there is a couple other girls who aren't having such luck.
Yeah, I know it. Coach Garino lost 2 players in the span of, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
A week and a half, something like that?
Both ACL tears and done for the season, unfortunately, is Sophia Sacchetti and Kiara Cusick is crossed, but here is her classmate, Caitlin Carney.
Yeah,
again, a starting position.
And how about Caitlin Carney, the James Madison U commit? Finally, it seems like she's been around a long time. She's a senior. She'll be moving on after this year. This is her last sports season.
Atkinson. Inside, she tries to find Caitlin's sister, Emily Carney, and she does. We talked about Caitlin. How about her younger sister, Emily, getting it done? going right under the crossbar, make it 2-0 Franklin.
You wonder, Ryan, if at some point the torch will be passed from the senior Caitlin Carney, now the sophomore Emily Carney. And they play both here and in field hockey, and Franklin doesn't take long. That's 1 minute and 3 seconds after the first goal by the Panthers' Peterson. Emily Carney finds the back of the twine.
When they score them, they like to score them in bunches. We'll see if that can keep expanding right now for Franklin. Emily Carney, only a sophomore for Coach Carino. Puts Franklin up 2. Back into the middle circle is Katie Peterson, and she wins that control against Cadence Kayberry. Shamrocks now with possession. It's Kayberry again. Able to bring it past the midfield into the attack is Kayberry. And she'll slow things down. Van Allen. It's a good mix for this Bishop Feehan team. They have, get that paper there. Bishop Feehan, 8 sophomores, 9 juniors, and a senior class of 8 players. No freshmen on the team. One lone freshman, Vera Hansen, making her varsity start today for Franklin.
The other thing about Feehan, Ryan, is they draw from all around the surrounding towns, not just Attleboro, where Feehan is located.
In fact, only one girl coming from Attleboro.
Yeah.
As in the attack, here comes the Shamrocks. Inside to Cutter. They'll put another shot on goal. Good save made there from Mahoney. Shot coming via Ali Bunakarsi.
That was a great save by Mahoney. Right in front was Brona Corsi.
Mahoney, 17 saves in their loss against Westwood. And she was tremendous in the first half of that one, 14 in the first half alone. So far, so good for Mahoney in this first half.
One of these years, Franklin is going to defeat Westwood. I don't know if it'll be in the championship game or, boy, what a great game we had a year or so ago and near the final. Was it the final? I think it was.
Here's Peterson on the fast break. Inside, good pass to Ryan. Ryan just can't get a handle of it. Taken away by Bishop Feehan. But as we talked about Westwood, how sweet will that revenge be when they finally can do it?
I know it. Westwood, just a tremendous team, rolling out championship team after championship team. By the way, that was a nice look by Katie Peterson on the other end. So unselfish is she. She had a look for the net, but she had Ryan with a better look. Unfortunately, the pass went a little bit astray. But Kate Peterson, if the UMass squad is looking on her today, they'll be pleased with her team play out on the field today.
Yeah, Peterson, as a junior last year, led this Panthers team with 30 assists.
Yeah, that's right.
And it maybe comes from her success on the basketball court as well, finding an open teammate.
Yeah, exactly. It goes hand in hand. I love the multiple sport athletes.
Here's lacrosse player and soccer player Tanner now on the fast break as we say that. Bringing it around back to Peterson, far right of the goal. Last time these two teams played, it was at Bishop Feehan, a 16-4 victory for the Panthers. That was a game, Pete, in which both teams came into that undefeated. Remember, Franklin started 11-0 last year. So with that win at Bishop Feehan, they were 10-0 before that loss to Westwood. So we'll see if they can make it 2 in a row against Bishop Feehan. Carney, ISO ball here. She chooses to go right. Will she fire a shot on? She will. That one just a little bit too high over our crossbar.
But she showcased some nice moves cutting to the net that time. She can lull you to sleep and then all of a sudden turn it on. You blink and she's right by you.
Right. Tanner will try to follow up that act with an act of her own. When just as she was coming downhill, it was Gordon Duke with the call. We have another starting position for the Panthers, the same spot where Peterson scored our first goal of the game. Here's Tanner, the Sacred Heart University commit. Pass inside by Peterson. To Tanner she goes, and Tanner won't miss that one. A little bit higher than she had on the starting position. Jamie Tanner makes it 3-0 Panthers. 3 goals so far for Franklin, 3 different goal scorers.
I love that one as Tanner went side saddle with that ball. She didn't go over the top. She had an open lane, but she had to keep her stick low, so about waist high, side to side, and she just buried it past the senior captain, Kiera Cronin, in goal.
Yeah, Cronin so far been pressured a lot and is starting to crack a little bit as we've seen. That is now 3 goals in a span of just over 5 minutes for the Panthers.
Yeah, they can score in bunches, and again, great teamwork, as you said, Ryan. 3 different scores. So and actually, their top player hasn't even scored yet, Caitlin Carney.
Yeah.
So how do you defend that team?
Peterson again with another draw control, and she'll bring it on the far side of the field. Peterson still with it herself. Will she take this one all the way? She'll put a shot on goal, and yes, she does take it all the way. How about this? We talked about how fast Franklin's been. 11 seconds since goal number 3. Franklin puts number 4 on the board.
You know, you mentioned her basketball prowess, Ryan, and she looked like on a full court fast break there. Just taking it from the opening draw.
Joined once more by Sam Bunacorsi. 2 senior captains in the middle circle. Bunacorsi of Medway, Massachusetts.
Her sister also plays, right?
Yeah, her sister being a sophomore, I believe. Yeah, Allie Bunacorsi.
Allie, yep.
Here comes the Panthers. Caitlin Carney into the attacking zone. Back out to Tanner on Peterson, brings it back to Atkinson on a day, Tuesday, April break day. It was looking like it would have been a little bit warmer weather.
Right. How about the wind? A very stiff crosswind blowing across the field from the far side of the field, from the players' benches over to our side, the press box.
Pure New England weather when it felt like a couple hours ago was a beautiful day, as that's a beautiful shot there from Lindsay Atkinson to make it 5-0. Again, another new Panthers score. Bit of a chillier day here, but a good shot with some heat on it from Atkinson.
Yeah, that'll warm things up. And again, Franklin just rolling here. 5 straight, 4 different players have scored. Her shot looked a lot like Jamie Tanner's shot, going side to side, finding the open net. So the 4th Panther to score. Peterson, one of the 4, has 2 goals.
Yeah, Peterson, our only multiple goal scorer so far, as we have goals from Peterson, as we mentioned, Emily Carney, April afternoon. Feels like it's about 49, though.
Yeah, the wind is really making it colder.
Carney. 13:10 left to play in our first half of action, as you're watching Franklin Girls Varsity Lacrosse on Franklin TV. Ryan Martin, Pete Royce bringing you all the action as the Panthers take on a non-league opponent in the Bishop Feehan Shamrocks. Chris Flynn, camera operator and producer today. We thank him for all of his work. Here's Carney. Back behind the net she goes to Katie Ryan. Peterson. Look at the cutting from Franklin. It's like a swarm of wasps right now, just trying to find someone to get through.
Yeah, it's very patterned. They follow their structure, looking for the open player. It's like a double merry-go-round. They're running around the net and running in front of the net.
So you get someone who's running downhill like Carney is right there and firing a shot on goal. Make it another new goal scorer for Franklin. Caitlin Carney finally has her first in this game. 6-0 Panthers, so 12:24 to go in our first half.
Well, that time it was just a mesmerizing offense by the Panthers. They had the circle going out front, the circle behind the net. If you're defending, you're not sure which circle you got to guard. And then Carney, with all that talent, finds the free spot and buries her first shot of the game, joining her sister on the board, and 4 other players have scored now.
And Pete, that was kind of an isolation play where Carney just took the ball, took it into her own hands, but that's created off of the swarm and the cutting that we saw before that. And you really just don't know what to come if you are the Bishop Feehan defense, which has certainly started to let Franklin kind of control their pace on offense.
You know, Franklin has scored big-time wins over the course of their first 6. The only blemish was the Westwood game. They still put up 10 goals against Westwood. But other than that, it's been, right around the max, 20, 16, 18, 20. So then he had one game at 19. So they just pour it on, and they're on pace again to put up a big score.
And when you're looking at those scores, Pete, it has to come with the asterisks, especially against Hockomock League opponents who they've won over 100 consecutive games against. These are scores in which Franklin is up and maybe hitting that 20 mark with 7, 8, 9 minutes left to play, and they start to take their foot off the gas after.
It also becomes a running clock, so that cuts down on the time played.
Errant pass there in the direction of Atkinson, and Tanner picks it up. A bit of an extracurricular hit there on Tanner. It'll be a starting position directly in front of Cronin is Tanner. Already with 1 goal is Jamie. And off the whistle, Tanner, she'll look for her second, maybe a passing lane. She'll go right towards the net. No doubt about that one is going to be a shot, and good save they made there by Cronin.
She didn't waste any time
No.
trying to close the gap between her and Cronin. She let it go after taking one step.
Off the whistle goes back to the Shamrocks. Really, that was their first offensive hit made there on number 8, Captain Sydney Smith, and it will be Carney.
That's going to be a card, I think.
Yeah. Caitlin Carney will take a knee for a second. Should be just a 2-minute minor on that one.
Well, she's a physical player.
Yep.
We've seen game and game and game where she'll do something like that and does go in the penalty area.
So the Shamrocks with the player advantage, and Pete, it probably couldn't come at a better time right now. The Shamrocks need something to build some momentum off of.
Yeah, definitely stalled out with a 6-0 deficit.
On to the attack for the first time in at least 5 or 6 minutes. Big time coming here for the Shamrocks. There's Bunakarsi inside. Defense there from Peterson. Ground ball picked up by Tanner. Tanner somehow gets out of that. Passes it to her goaltender, Mahoney.
Yeah, you don't see that too often, a pass going to your own goalkeeper in heavy traffic.
No. Right there, believe.
Give this to Feehan.
Yeah, that one was Nora McCollum there who got tipped up a little bit. But it's Gordon Duke, our referee, awarding it back to the visitors. Inside Bunakarsi. She retreats out. Defended by Tanner. Back over it goes to Sydney Smith. Inside, trying to find a cutting lane. We have a penalty upcoming against Peyton Crandall. And that one being on her defense against Maddie Fitzgerald. So all of a sudden, Pete, we have 2 Panthers now in the middle box.
I don't think they're going to send her out.
Oh, no?
Yeah, I think they just
a starting position.
Yep.
Just a starting position.
Yep.
False alarm on that one. It should be again Fitzgerald, though, on the right corner. And on the starting position, she launches a shot on and being met with all of Ella Mahoney's stick on that one.
Yeah, a nice play by Mahoney. Her first real test on the position start.
Here's Peterson in transition. Look at this evade here again. Still with it is Peterson. 3 Shamrocks on her.
Trying to kill a little bit time off the penalty, too. Not necessarily trying to advance it right away.
Here's Ryan. Yeah, they are certainly working
circling.
Trying to work horizontally here. Cutting all the way across the field.
4 different defenders try to stop her. She keeps going.
Ryan certainly more of a focal point on offense now as a junior. It's a big graduating class last year. Emily Carney to her sister Caitlin as Franklin moves into more of their prototypical offense.
Good job on the penalty kill by the Panthers.
Officially back to full strength. Final 8 minutes of our first half of action. Franklin has built up a 6-0 lead. And Carney takes it into her own hands for a second. Rushes it back out to Julia Flynn. Long pass there back to Carney. Here's Carney. She'll go left to right. She'll go right. And still into it. All the way into the attack. And right in front of the face of Cronin. And she'll go bottom left corner. Make it 7-0 Franklin.
Caitlin Carney goes backhand with her second straight goal. She just comes out of the penalty area and comes on the field and has the last 2 Franklin goals. They lead it 7-0. So explosive. I mean, she plays the pattern game because she does what she's told to do, play the team game. But when she can showcase a little bit of her own individual talent and there's an open lane, she'll take it that time. Maneuvered the ball beautifully, crossed over to the backhand side, and went backhanded into the goal.
Yeah, there was 3 defenders who tried to stop her there, Pete, but all of a sudden she had a one-on-one date facing against Kiera Cronin in goal, and Carney won that one. Ball goes up and down into the stick. Still up for grabs. Carney can't get to it. How about Julia Flynn coming back into the picture again? Bodies hitting the deck here as Flynn. This is this one.
And that's a foul there on the Panthers. A little bit of a frustration foul there.
Shamrocks, maybe they'll try and slow it down here. A lot of space inside, no one cutting yet. If you're Bishop Feehan, you have to appreciate just having the ball in your stick for a little bit.
Yeah, a chance to catch their collective breaths.
Right.
They've been really tested defensively. This is where you can not relax, but you can at least make sure you get a good play off. And
get
there
a good
it is.
play and a good shot there, as we say that patience pays off, and it's scored by number 4, Kendall Herrick. And credit the goal, or the assist right there, I should say, to number 8, Sydney Smith. Good pass inside, Pete. And as you said, the Shamrocks looking for a moment when they were able to find a good cutting lane inside, and they do right there with Herrick.
Nice maneuver by Herrick, but her team really looked to her to get open, and then she found some space and buried it. So Franklin gets the first 7, and then Kendall Herrick gets the goal with 6:45 to go in the first period, and the Shamrocks are finally on the board.
It's a similar storyline to what we saw at Bishop Feehan last year. It was Franklin. They led 11-3 by halftime. And once you had that kind of big lead right there, it was Franklin who carried it on for the rest. Bishop Feehan showing some signs of life here with 6:45 to go in the first half, but we could be eyeing a lead similar to that by halftime today.
Yeah, I think
Bases in the center circle, that one, and it will be done again. It's Caitlin Carney for Franklin. She's accompanied by Emma Van Allen, a junior, for Coach Michael Vitelli. And some words right there from our referee, Scott Spellman. And as Carney picks it up and runs with it, it looks like it'll be Franklin ball.
that was something. I'm not sure everybody knew the play was beginning. She just picked it up. She didn't wait for any whistle.
And finally a whistle comes right there.
I wonder.
Yeah, she just picked up and sprinted 35 yards.
I think he's calling that on the face-off, that she started too soon.
Yeah. A good attempt there by Carney. This is the worst that's to come from it.
So she's sent back to the midfield mark, and has to start it there. Boy, that took a while, I thought, for the official to call that.
Yeah. Thought Carney was going to get a shot on net, too, with all of that.
I know it.
Atkinson behind the net. Swing this one around again to Emily Carney. Carney back to Atkinson. Atkinson moving horizontally. She finds Peterson. Peterson leaves it for Julia Flynn. Back to Vera Hansen. No Sophia Sacchetti in this attack here, so Hansen getting some more touches. Inside Flynn goes. Tries to find a cutting Emily Carney. That one up for grabs in a dangerous area. Finally.
Yeah, nice pickup on the ground ball. Oftentimes a goalie will be one of their leaders in ground ball pickups.
Boone, of course, he's still running with it. Defense coming from Carney. Boone, of course, he's one of 4 senior captains.
Foul there on the Panthers.
Feehan again taking it slow with a big gap right in front of Mahoney in goal. We'll see who cuts in and if the Shamrocks are able to find the cutting teammate. Maddie Fitzgerald. Back to Boone Corsi, who now has a bit of a lane. She'll try this on Peyton Crandall. Inside, back to Fitzgerald. She goes. A ground ball, though. Can Crandall scoop it up? Still up for grabs, and it's pulled in by Bishop Feehan. Fitzgerald tried to spin to get a shot on. It looks like it'll be a start, though, coming for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, they're going to call a foul on Franklin. I thought that Franklin was able to scoop it. A lot of activity on the field, but the official makes the call. He's going to award it to the Shamrocks.
Fitzgerald, she won't go for a shot on net, and she'll restart it with the Bishop Feehan offense. Sydney Smith. Guarded by Maeve Grasso, now passed over to Hansen. Back to Boone Corsi. Good matchup here. Senior captain on senior captain, as there's a foul called on Peterson. Boone Corsi slow to get up right there. I don't think it was actually, she's maybe has a bit of an injury on the Peterson play, but I think the fall after the flag was thrown. Boone, of course, you'll walk this one off and go to trainer Jed Edmonds.
Yeah. Walking pretty well. So Franklin with 2 penalties here today. They were good on the penalty kill on the first one. It was against Caitlin Carney. And now their other star goes out, Katie Peterson, and she'll be in the penalty area. Can Bishop Feehan make it 2 goals in a row and try to build a little bit of momentum?
Good starting position. This is who you want it if you are Bishop Feehan. We've said her name a lot today. Sam Buonacorsi, a senior captain out of Medway. Starting position. It's her. It's Mahoney. We'll see if the Panthers can crash in. Gordon Duke making sure everyone's back where they should be. Buonacorsi, she won't go for the shot. Interesting decision.
Yeah, she backed out.
Especially with how good this Franklin defense has been. Maybe it paid off there. Not on that shot coming from Allie Buonacorsi, her sister.
Well, they had a play on. They were looking for that, not the first pass to who she passed to, but the second cutter.
Right. And Buonacorsi was able to get a shot off.
Yeah, so she worked it around.
Yeah. Smith back inside. Height advantage lost there, but still with it, and a flag. That pass was to number 17, Marissa Pereira. Vera Hansen, though, with a little bit too much pressure. Even a better position now coming.
Well, they're certainly giving Feehan chances here on this penalty.
This one will be a shot on.
Mahoney.
Good defense, though. Yeah, defense.
Got it.
I think that might have even been a Panther defender who was able to put pressure on the shot. As Carney able to get that pass, and then Mahoney, as you said, did the rest.
Wow. Whoa. You could see her trying to regain her balance. She takes a wicked hit there and picks up the ball. Wow. What contact there. Emily Carney goes flying. Try to regain her balance. Could not.
That one can't get into the hands of Tanner. Carney able to kill a couple seconds off the clock as well there by picking up that loose ball. Now with her sister, Emily Carney. Franklin, they've been goalless for about the last 5 minutes.
That's a long time for this Panther team.
Back with Carney now, and they're evaporating the last few seconds on this Peterson penalty. Tanner. Out left to Lindsay Atkinson as the sun starts to peek her head behind the clouds here at Bassini Stadium. Up for grabs right in front of the net is Carney. Again losing her stick is Caitlin.
As she was going down, she dived for the ball and tried to get a shot off, even though she never had control of the ball. And you have to avoid the crease in that area. She did a good job doing that, but she couldn't get good leverage on the ball.
Carney will pass it off the starting position. Back to even strength are the Panthers. With Tanner it is now. Some shadows and players starting to appear. Tanner out left to Carney. Pass it right back to Tanner. Peterson. The trio of seniors right now between Carney, Peterson, and Tanner. Working well as Peterson will add a fourth into the mix, bring in Lindsay Atkinson. Final minute, 17 to go in the first half before our 10-minute halftime intermission. Franklin wondering, Pete, if they're trying to get the last shot off here before halftime.
They're so good at that. They are so good at that. We've seen them year after year score within the last 10 seconds of a half. But you also have a shot clock, so you can't keep it, for an indefinite period of time.
We'll be able to get it off the starting position, though. This time coming from the left corner is Peterson. Looks like a pretty good angle against the senior goalie, Kiera Cronin. Peterson, right off it. She goes, bottom right, and she hits.
She faked high, had their eyes on, their hearts on, but it stops it. 54 seconds, so almost 7 minutes between goals. After a torrid 7-0 start, it's now back to that 7-goal lead. Let's check it. 7-goal lead, 8-1.
Yeah, 8-1 as you mentioned, as Peterson the UMass Amherst commit, as we
Yeah.
alluded to earlier, with her second hat trick in as many games.
I was reading about terms in lacrosse, Ryan. And do you know what 6 goals is in lacrosse?
I'm not sure what is 6 goals.
It's a sock
A
trick.
sock? A sock trick. I would love that one.
We may see that today, a sock trick.
Well, guess what? As I did all my homework on this game, guess who had a sock trick against these Bishop Feehan last time? It was Caitlin Carney. We'll see if she can have another sock trick. Carney, 6 goals and 3 assists.
Could be
at
it
Bishop
could
Feehan
also
last
be a
time.
double hattie if you want, right? And yeah, that was a beautiful goal by Peterson. No matter what you call it, it was beautiful.
Carney, come with it. There's a word for 2 goals too, used in soccer a lot more.
2 straight.
A brace.
A brace.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
it is, a brace.
A triple brace we could do as well. Peterson, inside, looking towards her shot. That one will go wide to right and do it for our first half of play. So here in the booth, we're looking at ways to say different kinds of goal scoring, and that's because Franklin is up big so far. 8-1 their lead on the Bishop Feehan Shamrocks. Katie Peterson leading the way with 3 goals. Caitlin Carney adding 2 more, as well as goals from Emily Carney, Jamie Tanner, and Lindsay Atkinson. And Pete, the Shamrocks were able to score with about 6 minutes left in that first half, but other than that, it's been all Panthers so far from Prasini Stadium.
Yeah, it's been a dominant performance by the Panthers. They're trying to improve their record, that one blemish against the outstanding Westwood team. And here, though, 7 straight, that kind of set the tone early. Herrick did score for the Shamrocks, and then Peterson closes it out with one of their patented scores in the last minute of play. They do that so often under Coach Kristen Garino. In pretty good shape here, 8-1 at the break.
So 8-1 in the break, as you mentioned here. We have about 5 minutes of this halftime intermission. We'll step aside here on Franklin TV as the sunshine maybe starts to peek out on a windy Tuesday afternoon, but we'll keep it right here. You won't want to miss it. Franklin up 8-1. Second half coming up here on Franklin TV. And we're back here on Franklin TV for our coverage of Franklin girls varsity lacrosse. Second half upcoming as your Panthers lead the Bishop Feehan Shamrocks 8-1. Welcome back, neighbors. I'm Ryan Martin, joined alongside by Pete Royce, alongside camera operator and producer today, Chris Flynn. And Pete, it was Franklin who was able to get a 7-goal lead by the halftime break, but it was impressive the multitude of different ways they were able to claim that lead.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with their defense. They've really denied Feehan a lot of opportunities. They were great on the penalty kill. They picked up ground balls. They weaved the ball beautifully on offense, and just a parade of scorers finding the net behind senior goalkeeper Cronin.
Well, flip sides here. Franklin in their white uniforms, and that 8-1 lead will go from right to left across your screen. Our visitors from Bishop Feehan in their green uniforms with yellow numerals going from left to right across your screen. As we get the second half started, I'll pass it over to the pride of the Holy Cross play-by-play on ESPN Plus. More about that opportunity for my partner coming up, Pete Royce.
Thanks a lot, Ryan Martin. And here we go. Caitlin Carney to start the second half. Panthers with the big lead, 8-1. Out to Jamie Tanner. Back to Katie Peterson. I know, Ryan, you have a long list of commits you're going to talk about for some of these players. We look forward to hearing about that in the second half. And after you're done, I have one more commit to give you. Panthers with the drive. It's Caitlin Carney. She's holding it back out. To the top it goes, to Jamie Tanner. Franklin working that offense. Taking almost a minute off the clock on their first possession of the second half. And a foul called here. And it's going to be awarded to the Panthers. Now, interesting, they put the defense behind the offensive player. And Carney has it behind the goal. Caitlin out to her sister Emily, back to Caitlin. Top of the circle there with it for the Panthers, Vera Hansen. She gets a start today because of the injuries that Ryan mentioned.
The lone freshman on this team as well.
Yeah. And another foul called. See if they award a free positional start here. They will to the Panthers. They haven't had a bunch. They've scored on them. And they'll start it again on the right wing. Charging through, being hit, and a foul. This is going to be, I think
a goal first, though. Goal first.
Did it come in?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think I went bottom right corner, and it was off the starting position for Jamie Tanner.
Okay, so Tanner gets her second goal. Franklin starts the second half. So they were going to call a free positional hit right in front, but with 23-11, Franklin makes it 9-1. Tanner with 2 now. Franklin just dominated on that first possession, I thought, Ryan.
Yeah, they certainly did. And that's kind of what our storyline was from that first half, how the Panthers controlled the pace of play through their control of the ball on offense. They do so on that opening possession of the second half, and it leads to a Jamie Tanner goal.
9-1, 23-11 to go here in the second half. Franklin in a non-conference matchup with the Bishop Feehan Shamrocks. Foul called here against Franklin, and the Shamrocks will have it just near midfield. Ball trickles out, and this will be Emma Van Allen, the junior. Shamrocks coached by Mike Vitelli in his 5th year. He's been coaching in high school. He coached at King Philip for a number of years, and Franklin steals it. Caitlin Carney, a nice look of pass out in front for Tanner. She can't control it. Now she does on the right wing. The shot there in the score. Was it Emily Carney?
I think we have.
Emily
Top
Carney gets another goal for the Franklin Panthers. Emily Carney makes it 10-1 at 22-36.
Yeah, Pete, was that like a 4-on-1 we saw Franklin coming down with? It was Tanner, it was Atkinson, Emily Carney who scored that one over there, and the Shamrock defense just was nowhere in sight.
No.
Kira Cronin's had a lot of pressure in her face, now allowing the 10th goal of the game for Franklin, but it doesn't help when your defense isn't in position like that. Franklin, it was even a pass to Tanner that she had to get a ground ball from. She wasn't able to get the pass in plenty of times still to get a good shot on.
Right, she was having struggling picking up the ball. So Emily Carney with a goal, that's 2 for her. The Carney sisters have 5 goals in the game out of the 10, half of the output belongs to somebody with the last name of Carney. I see their mom down in the stands, Kim Carney, the assistant coach in field hockey. So once again, it'll be Katie Peterson with the draw at midfield. 22:35 to go. Franklin rolling, 2 straight unanswered here in the second half. Sun, little stronger now here. Ryan has wanted it. He's going to get his wish.
All day. We were both at softball earlier today. It looked like it was coming up at about 10:30 in the morning, and we've had clouds and clouds since.
Caitlin Carney, those slow moves, they're deliberate, but she's finding her spots. Back out top to Peterson. The Shamrock defense trying to set something up. Franklin, just about every player now touching the ball before they unleash a shot. This is Jamie Tanner. Peterson looked like she called a play. Starts her move. Little drop pass. Back to Peterson. The give and go. Peterson in front. The side shot. And the score by Katie Peterson. So she's got 4 here today. She called that play. They were weaving, and it looked like at some point she made a move and just put it home with 21:40. Took a minute, 56 seconds since the last Franklin goal.
Yeah.
And is it running time now?
It is now running time with 21 minutes left.
So it's going to be running time. So that's what, well, rightfully so, cuts down on the big bulges in scoring balance for one team. And so we'll run it, and this clock will move without stop here unless there's a timeout or a big injury. 11-1. Katie Peterson.
Yeah.
Is that 4 goals?
Should be 4 for Peterson as we go back to that last one.
Yeah.
How about her calling her own play? I guess that's the kind of control you can have when you're a senior captain and having that trust from Coach Garino.
They were playing around with her. She said, okay, let's make our move now. Yep. And she did. It was a beauty.
She almost got sandwiched by 2 Shamrock players right there, and she was able to control that ball.
It didn't matter.
It's like when you're running into the lane in basketball again.
She's so skilled at it. Franklin digging for the ground ball, and it's going to be a foul called against the Shamrocks. It'll go to the Panthers on the free positional shot coming up. Is this Vera? Yep. Vera Hansen with the free positional shot. Looks like she's left-handed. Little shot is blocked by Cronin. Rebound in front. It's blocked again by Cronin. And the Shamrocks come out with it on a good couple of saves there by Kira Cronin for the Shamrocks.
Cronin, as you mentioned, some of these commits, she will be at Belmont Abbey, Division II Women's Lacrosse next year.
Okay. Belmont Abbey. And a player just took a shot in the head there. Oh, man, right in the forehead was that player. And she's down, getting up.
Allie Boone-Corsi, a sophomore.
Okay, so she is down. She took a hit right off the forehead. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's really tough.
Oh, gosh, right over the forehead. Jen Edmonds out there. And so that's the type of injury, unfortunate, that will stop the clock in running time. But can Allie get up here with some assistance from trainer Jen? She is up, and she's going to be helped off the field, as you can see. That is her sister. So a touching move here. Samantha Bonacorsi helping out her sister off the field. The senior helping the sophomore. That is a nice visual right there.
Yeah, always. I mean, head injury is scary in any sport, Pete, especially. But with the lack of a helmet that we wear here in girls lacrosse too, those are even more scary, and lack of protection. And we're obviously hoping the best, and that she's all right. Is Abby Bonacorsi.
So she goes out. And it'll be the Shamrocks with the ball. Bonacorsi is out. Whistle stops play. They were waiting for Samantha to get back on the field. That's what happened. She helped her sister out. So inbounding it will be Emily Dunn, the freshman, as Coach Vitelli goes to his bench here in the second half. Play back in. Shamrocks have it. And a foul there on the Panthers. And with it is Emma Van Allen, the junior. Up the field comes Van Allen. Nice strides, angles to the right. Clock is running again, and it will run. It will run here. 19:24 to go. Franklin 11. Bishop Feehan 1. Feehan into their set offense. Circling out with it. Feehan looking for an opportunity. They take it baseline. With it there is Marissa Pereira, the senior. Long possession ensuing here for the Shamrocks. They'll take it behind the net. Mahoney doing a great job in goal for Franklin. Not much action here on this possession, though.
A lot of standing around here for the Shamrocks, even with them having control on offense.
I don't see a lot of that merry-go-round traffic that the Panthers like to employ.
It's imitation but not symmetry by Bishop Feehan.
Oh, yeah. Varsity comes out to Charlotte Wimes. Wimes heading for college play next year.
Yeah, she'll be at Bryant joining her sister. Yeah.
Bryant, a Division I program. Nice catch there inside, and a nice pass, and a nice shot and a goal by Kendall Herrick. Her second goal of the game by Kendall Herrick.
Yeah, 2 goals and 2 shots coming from Kendall Herrick to make that possible. The sophomore has been the Shamrocks' whole offense so far. So, Pete, we may have critiqued them for being almost too patient or too lackluster standing around. They were able to get that one there. I thought it was a good effort, too, from Ellen Mahoney between the pipes. I thought she actually came up with it with the scoop of the stick, but that one was able to bounce up and go top left corner.
Herrick is a talented player.
Yeah.
Herrick gets 2 goals, both of the goals for her team by the sophomore, Kendall Herrick. And that'll stop the clock also, because now we're back under 10 goals.
Right, good call.
So we're back to regulation timing. We'll see if Franklin has something to say about that and see how long we stay on the regulation timekeeping. 11-2, 17:52 left in this one. That time was Caitlin Carney. She goes down hard, no call. And Feehan comes back, and Carney comes back. That's the frustration there.
Yeah.
That's going to be a yellow card. That's a yellow card.
Then they tried to pull the Caitlin Carney by starting before the whistle came.
Yeah. And here comes the official. She's kind of very vulnerable out there, and she just lowered the boom and called for the yellow card.
Second time in the chair today is Caitlin Carney.
So she'll go out. Feehan will have it. Player advantage here. We had a card against Peterson, now a card against Caitlin Carney. The official is going to come and talk. He's talking to assistant coach John Layton right now.
Coach Layton, on a side note, might be one of the best talkers with referees and officials we've seen. The way that he can hold his composure. We saw that during basketball season, too.
Yeah. So he wanted an explanation. He got one. The Shamrocks put it in play down in front of us. So glad you're with us, fans. We're streaming on YouTube and on Franklin TV. Emma Van Allen with it. Can the Shamrocks make it 2 in a row? They have yet to do that today. Allen, ball loose. Franklin steals it, rolls in to the waiting cage there of their goalkeeper, and that would be Ella Mahoney. Franklin tries to take it out. Peterson in the middle, waits for things. There's the senior play, just letting things form naturally. And gets it back. Back out to the top. Is Playing catch there with Lindsay Atkinson. Whistle stops play. Peterson will set it off again. Franklin to the far side. For the cutter for Tanner. She'll take it back out deep. Franklin will restart its offense out deep. Pretty good defense here by the Shamrocks.
Yeah, 10 or 12 seconds into this possession for Franklin. It feels just unstructured right now with the circle we have going.
Yeah. And that's true.
No,
They have a player down, so they are working the clock. Peterson, though, makes a move and triple teamed.
Yeah.
She'll come back out with it again, killing time over to Lindsay Atkinson. 16:06 to go in the game. Franklin comfortably on top. Ball is hit free, knocked out of bounds. It'll be Franklin to the ball, and they'll go back to Katie Peterson. Jamie Tanner crosses over with Peterson and still hangs on to the ball, and is fouled on the play, but they play on.
Back to even two is Franklin now.
So Carney is out of the game. So apparently that first foul on her was a yellow.
Yep.
And that's what I think they wanted the explanation for.
Right.
So Caitlin Carney is gone. Franklin holding. Katie charging, shooting. There was a whistle. She scored. What are they going to call? Did that whistle blow before the shot was made? I think it did.
I think so. That's a tough whistle if you're Franklin. Obviously not big with an 11-2 lead, but that was a whistle that was supposed to benefit Franklin, yet it stopped that momentum on the shot.
I think it did come before the shot, though, in all fairness. So she'll be a positional start for Peterson. She shoots, and did she get it through? Yes, she did. Is that 5 goals?
We're just one away now, Pete. Just one away from our sock trick.
One away from the sock for Kate Peterson. She's got 5 at 14:37, and we're going to run the clock again. 12-2. Well, she wasn't to be denied, right? They call the whistle. She scored on the play like a fraction of a second later. She gets the positional start, positional shot. She makes it perfect for her 5th goal of the game.
Yeah, good shot there from Peterson. It's just more of the same from Peterson with the shots that we were able to see, getting in a lot of different ways. And if you are a Baby Keem fan of her song after the goal, you're in for a treat today with Katie Peterson's 5th of the night.
Part of the celly on the field, right? So this time taking the draw will be Emily Carney. It's tapped up in the air, ground ball, and Emily tries to come out with it. A foul called against Shamrocks. Panthers have it. This is Emily Carney. Her sister, Caitlin, is out of the game. Atkinson, that pass goes astray. Franklin will chase it down. They'll be nearest to the ball, but no, it's out of bounds off of Franklin. That'll be awarded to the Shamrocks. What else do you have for commits? Anything good,
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about this attack so far for Bishop Feehan when they've had possession. We haven't mentioned it in a while, but both, I believe actually all of their captains will be playing at the next level. Sydney Smith, a senior attacker, will be playing Division III lacrosse at Ithaca. Sam Bunacorsi, you mentioned her name a couple of times, helping out her sister too. She'll be at American University next year down in D.C. D.C., a good place to go to college, by the way. We have some other ones too. We'll look through this one. And then we already mentioned too, Kiera Cronin going to Belmont Abbey. So 4 senior captains and 4 commits for Coach Michael Vitelli.
Well, the commit that I wanted to mention, Ryan, was one Ryan Martin going to the University of Maryland. Congratulations, Mr. Terrapin.
Thank you. Excited about it.
Yeah. What a hotbed for sports down there in a Big Ten school. Wow. In front, the save by Cronin on a beautiful.
I think that one went in.
Save.
I think that
Did
one went in.
It, she saved it, but the momentum of the ball carried it forward. Did we see who scored that?
I think that was Katie Ryan first.
Okay, so Ryan, who's been all around the ball, does manage to put one home at 12:25 to 2:12 for the last goal. So Katie Ryan, but congratulations. What are you looking forward to down in College Park?
You know, I was there for a Mid-Students Day on Monday, Pete, and it was cool to just see the environment overall. But what we did was we did all the festivities, did the tours and stuff, and then for dinner we took just a 10-minute train ride into downtown D.C.
Nice.
So I think being right near that city, as well as the program that they have in place, will be really cool cool to be. Maybe I'll go watch an American game and go see Sam Buonacorsi too. We'll have to see what happens there.
And speaking of Maryland, if I'm not mistaken, they have a very good lacrosse team.
They do. They do. Number 2 in the country right now in men's lacrosse. Girls lacrosse not too far behind either.
Yeah, right. I was watching the women's lacrosse game the other day. They looked very good. Well, good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you.
As we play on with 11:30 left here in the game. Franklin 13 now to 2 for Bishop Feehan. Seemed like it was just the other day that Franklin was playing Feehan in big playoff basketball game down in Feehan. What a venue that was. That was an electric, about as electric atmosphere as I can recall for a while. Feehan took that game from the Panthers. 11:02 left, 13-2, Feehan with the ball. Come through the shot, and a whistle stops play. It looks like we will have a foul called here on the Panthers. A free positional shot coming up for
should be Sam Buonacorsi, I think, right there.
It is Buonacorsi. Gets the call, takes it herself, holds, shoots, it is blocked. Kicked back out though, and the rolling ball is retrieved by the Shamrock Sydney Smith. Smith will take it behind the net. 10.5 left in the game, 13-2. Pete Royce, Ryan Martin, Peyton Crandall to Lindsay Atkinson. Looking ahead to try to find Kate Ryan again, who just scored back on front for Atkinson. Her shot saved by Cronin. The ball is loose, and now Cronin scoops up the ground ball. Under 10 to go. Franklin rolling here, 13-2. That was nice passing for Atkinson. It started on a break by Peyton Crandall to ignite it. And here comes Feehan on the rush out. This is Sydney Smith. Good defense by the Panthers. Nowhere to go with it. Smith has to back out. Now takes it behind the net. In front, ball is loose. Picked up by the Shamrocks. Coming up on 9 minutes to go in the game. Franklin trying to improve from 5-1 on the season, the only blemish to an outstanding Westwood High School team. And it's going to be a foul here on the Panthers, way outside though. And it'll be a positional shot for the Shamrocks.
Sydney Smith,
Too far out, they can't go with it. Ball is loose, picked up down low. Now it's loose again. Franklin swats at it, and now coming up with it on a nice play as the Panthers. Out to Atkinson. That was Jamie Tanner who picked up that ground ball, a beauty. And now it's a turnover. Down in front. Franklin swarming the defense, and they turn it back the other way. Good defense by the Panthers. Pass out front. It's dropped. Picked up by Emily Carney. On the far side, it's going to go out there to Vera Hansen. Ball is nearly stolen, but a nice catch by Atkinson. She whips it up in front. There for Kate Ryan, and hit a player, I think, but still hanging on was Tanner. Coming through, the ball is loose again. A little bit helter-skelter here as Emily Carney picks it up. There's been contact throughout the game. We've had all the penalties, though, against the Panthers. And now a whistle and a timeout called. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. It's Franklin 13, Bishop Feehan out of Attleboro, Mass. 2. Franklin on a roll here. They've had 2 goals to 1 for Feehan here in the second half. Not a lot of scoring in the second half, but still Franklin in control with Katie Peterson, Katie Ryan. If you have a first name of Kate, you're probably on the scoreboard here today.
Yeah, it's a good bet too. And as we look towards the scoring again, it's been obviously led by Katie Peterson, but we've got a lot of different players. 13 goals on the day, Pete, and 6 different scores for Franklin. So it's been well.
So she's got a bright future ahead of her. As we take a look at, she's only a sophomore, is Kendall Herrick. So she has a very bright future for Coach Mike Vitelli and the Franklin and the Shamrocks of Bishop Feehan High School. So play about to resume as Ella Mahoney trots back to her goal.
And Pete, as we have the viewers' attention here as our play is about to restart here, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my ESPN employed broadcast partner right here, who is going to be busy with obligations, not today, not tomorrow, but over the next 3 days. Talk to us a little bit about your gig with ESPN Plus and how that came to be.
Yeah, well, it's just, being a graduate of Holy Cross, it helped, and I stayed in touch with the media people. It seems like all colleges have great media departments now. They produce a lot of their shows. You'll find that at College Park. They produce a lot of their shows. So I'm in the rotation for some assignments. I'll have men's lacrosse tonight, women's lacrosse tomorrow, and women's softball on Thursday. So that'll be a lot of fun. It's a subscription service, so you have to dish out some coin in order to get it. There's a goal here by Franklin.
Vera Hansen on that one, I think.
Is it Vera Hansen again? But thanks for mentioning it, Ryan. I look forward to that. Vera Hansen, we'll give her the goal, her second on the day. And that makes it 14 to 2,
yeah.
14 to 2, and that comes with 7 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, great job by Hansen just to get inside there, find some positioning in the bottom right corner and get it done. Hansen had her first varsity goal a couple games ago against Sharon, now getting back in there is a freshman. And just to finish that off, if you don't have an ESPN Plus subscription, of which I made sure I renewed now for the Holy Cross season, Pete Royce gives you a fantastic reason to renew it.
All right, Ryan. Thank you. Under 6.5 to go. Ball is loose. Peterson uses her height to regain it. Nice play by Katie. And a foul there, as with it, coming out with it was Vera Hansen. She's been involved here today. The freshman, right? Vera Hansen?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Katie Peterson loves to play in the open field. To Jamie Tanner. For Lindsay Atkinson. She's got a goal here today. Coming up on now, we're under 6 minutes to go in the game. Whistle stops play. Didn't seem like much action there, but a foul was called. And some subs coming in, I guess. So we'll play on. Panthers have it. Sun has disappeared again. Our friend has gone away. Peterson out to Jamie Tanner.
That sounds, it's a tough guest, especially on an April day.
Yeah. Franklin in no hurry here. Atkinson, there's a nice three-person weave. Cutting through and taking a push, but no foul call. Maybe a delayed call.
Yeah.
A delayed call. Jamie Tanner. Sometimes they wait to see what happens on the play, and they may not call it. They don't want to stop some offense, but it's going to be a free positional start for Jamie Tanner on the left wing.
Tanner with 2 goals, looking for the hat trick on this start, if she goes to shoot it.
She does. He lets the ball go. It went astray, and first to it were the Shamrocks of Bishop Feehan. So they'll start out trailing it here, 14 to 2. They're 4-1 on the season, but not looking good for the visitors here so far today. Whistle stops play. Foul called, and Borna Corsi will put it in bounds. Put it in play to Kate McLaughlin, the junior. Back over to Emma Van Allen.
Some reserves into the game on defense now.
And we'll wonder if we'll have a goalkeeper change for the Panthers. We'll see.
I'm not sure if they have anyone as a backup right now at the varsity level, Pete.
Yeah, that's true. And you look at it, you want to build for the future, but you have a sophomore in goal anyway.
Of course.
So she's young. Emily Carney on the 2-on-1. Ball is loose and dropped there on the far side. And Shamrock's quick to the ball. They get the ground ball nicely. Drawing a double team was the Shamrock, but she gets the pass away. Under 3:30 left in the game. Van Allen, the junior. Out on the right side for Kate McLaughlin. And she'll slow things down. Is further on the right for Emily Dunn, a freshman. And she takes it behind the Franklin net. Out top. Samantha Bonacorsi coming through, but not being able to get a shot off the Shamrocks, and they take it back. I thought she had a pretty good look, but she chose not to shoot. Now it comes back on the left wing. To the top, and Samantha Bonacorsi. Franklin digging in, a whistle and a foul called here. Looked like a hold away, be a free positional start and shot for the Feehan Shamrocks with 2:20 to go. They've had a few, and they have passed down front.
Yeah.
The shot, the save by Mahoney.
Surprised to see that pass right there, but good save by Mahoney.
Mahoney picks it up. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the game. Peterson's still out there. And contact and a foul called against the Shamrocks. Panthers will start it. To Peterson at midfield and beyond. Whistle, foul called against the Shamrocks. 1:40 to go in the game. Franklin in control with the scoreboard and the ball. This is Emily Carney, the sophomore. And now in there is a freshman.
Yeah, Juliana Owen from the junior varsity level.
Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, she's back.
Her first goal as well. Pete, in that game, that was 15 goals by Franklin. 9 were scored by first-timers.
Nice. That is a tribute to the system that and let's see, they're going to call a foul on the Shamrocks.
And speaking about that experience, too, while we have a stoppage in the play, it's one thing, obviously, to be brought in as a reserve against the Hawkmock League team where Franklin's kind of had their number. This hasn't been Bishop Feehan's day, but this is a really great competition for Franklin overall, especially the reserves to get in against a non-league opponent.
Yep, and they've had a good season, Feehan, 4-1.
4-1.
Coming up on just 30 seconds to go in the game. In front, Katie Peterson had a chance for the double hattie, but the ball got away. And she's got a chance here to get the sock, right? We've been waiting for it. We whipped out that term today, and here's the chance for it. Can she get it? There'll be 6 goals today. Peterson on the free positional shot. She shoots, and she scored. Just scored for the double hat trick, the sock for Katie Peterson. And Ryan, that was a kind of an interesting way to close it out.
I'd call it an exclamation mark, Pete. We've had a great game by Franklin so far. 15-2, they're going to win this one. Peterson making sure that everyone in attendance, and we didn't even mention that, it was a good crowd on hand today at Piscini Stadium. Keep your hats on, keep your winter coats on, but let's throw the socks onto the field for Katie Peterson. 6 goals in this one, a couple more assists. Just an overall great game by the Panthers. Pete, a big test coming up now against Lincoln Sudbury on Monday, but if you're the Panthers now at 6-1, you have a chance to really get excited for this game. A big win against a non-league opponent.
Yep, nice win. They go to 6-1 on the season for the Shamrocks. They drop to 4-2. Just a parade of scorers for the Franklin Panthers. Peterson with 6 goals and Caitlin Carney with 3, Emily Carney with 2. On and on we go. Jamie Tanner with a couple as well, I believe. And Franklin wins it going away 15-2. That's going to do it for our coverage of exciting Franklin High girls lacrosse. I'd like to thank our producer and our director, our camera operator today, Chris Flynn, among the first to arrive and the last to leave. On behalf of my broadcast partner, University of Maryland bound Ryan Martin, this is Pete Royce saying so long for Piscini Stadium on the campus of Franklin High School. The final score for the final time, Franklin 15, Bishop Feehan 2. Till next time, so long.